Good morning, Tobago. This morning we start off our conversation by talking about STEM and the STEM camp that's happening in Tobago. As we have this conversation this morning, I have the privilege of sitting with Mr. Eddison Thomas, who is the marketing specialist. Good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates.
Morning, Shenell. How you doing?
I'm all right.
And my tie, you look radiant today.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. So Tobago is seeing from the Tobago Information Technology Limited a STEM camp. So tell us more about the STEM camp and what we can look forward to seeing for young persons between the age of 7 to 17.
Right. So the drive from Tobago Information Technology Limited is really to help spur the innovation, right? Within the entire population, but we do it in different ways when it comes to the adults and the kids. All right. And so one such spur of innovation is the STEM camp. For those who don't know, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. All right. It's a group of areas of study that really helps to spur on innovation in the spaces of, especially in the space of information technology, right? So we are now we started in 2018, so we would have some breaks during COVID there, but we came back for the first time since COVID last year. We had such a resounding response. This year, we plan to do the biggest one yet, and we plan to accommodate just about 150 students over two 3-week cycles during the July-August vacation. All right. So I mean, it's gonna be a really, really, really fun learning experience for the young ones.
Right. And this STEM camp would include areas such as animation, coding, programming, drone technology, robotics. What are some of the other areas that may also be covered?
We also are doing smart home automation, exposing the kids to electronics with smart home automation, I might say. Being able to control lights from their mobile smartphones and these kind of things with smart switches and smart plugs. We're also doing virtual reality as well. Actually, I was able to, see beforehand some of the materials come in, and it was saw the MetaQuest 3 with the VR goggles and was able to take in some of that really, really, really amazing stuff. And 3D printing as well. We're going to delve a little bit into that, making some remarkable stuff with parts. And you can make parts, you can make toys, you can make puzzles, you can make, it's limited to the imagination what you can make with a 3D printer. So we want to expose the kids to that side of, many of the children, have not even, some of these things they would have only interacted with during videos on YouTube, all right? But we really want to expose and spur the innovation of kids to say that, okay, it's not only for YouTube, but you can also take up interest in this and make it useful to you, right? So those are some of the other things that we plan to roll out.
Okay, so when is the camp actually starting?
The camp starts on Monday, actually, July 8th, right? That's the first day. We have the opening day at Tobago Information Technology Limited in Signal Hill at the Information Technology Center. All right, we plan to have our opening ceremony, have, some of the managing persons really come up and speak and really spur off the program with good intentions. And we also, that day actually we plan to do robotics as well. So we have everybody right now at the center is very busy, testing and setting up those robot kits for the kids to start on Monday. Yes.
Right. And tell us about that group between 7, because you have 2 cohorts, right?
2 cohorts, yeah.
Right. But you have that group between 7 to 11,
Yes.
and then the 12 to 17.
Yes.
Tell us about the difference in approach with the different groups and what is being offered to the separate groups.
Okay. So we generally teach the 2 groups same topics, but the lower, the younger age group is usually we kind of format the topic in such a way that it will be easier for them to understand, and the older ones will get the more challenging topics. So for instance, last year we did coding. When we did the coding aspect, the older ones were able to grasp and create their own mobile games, All right, and so we had the capable tutor, Mr. CPO. He was able to guide them through that. But the younger ones, through our other capable tutor, Miss Janine Richard, they were able to also do a web-based application where they would learn the basics of coding, how they would tell, they was able to program a sprite or a monkey, and they were able to guide the monkey using code to get the different prizes. So it was a very it was very scaled down for them to be able to grasp the concepts, and you would be surprised as to how quick that age group was able to get those basics concepts. Actually, there was a couple of them who were able to even grasp what the older ones were doing, and was able to craft their own games using what the older ones was doing. So we really just scaled it down for them, but they mainly learned the same thing.
Right, and wherever there is value, you know that there is a cost attached. And there is a cost attached to the program. How much does the program cost? And is there still space available, or are you just here to tell us that it's happening?
Right. So the cost is 1,000 TT dollars, right? Obviously, technology isn't cheap, but we're still offering a lot of immense value for what that course entails. So we do have, as we said before, the 3D printing, we have virtual reality, we have robotics, we have animation coding. We have to be able to make sure all the students have availability to computers and laptops to actually do the work, right? So, and all that isn't cheap. So the course is $1,000. We still have space for our second cycle, right? Our first cycle, I think, is filled at this point, but the second cycle, we still have space. So that cycle starts in August, I believe. The first week in August to the third week in August.
Okay, right. And so what time does it start? What time do the kids come in and what time does it end? Do they have a lunch break? Do they have to come with their own lunch? Is lunch provided? Can they
All right.
purchase lunch at the site? What is the overall arrangement for their comfort while they're there?
Right. So we run from, I believe, 9 to 3, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yes, there are breaks. There are 2 breaks, one morning, one afternoon, and there's a lunch as well. Right. During lunch, we not providing lunches, but we have a concessionaire on site that is able to sell lunches. But also the children could bring their lunches as well. But we do have a concessionaire that's there that will be able to sell lunches on a daily basis, and we do have a fully kitted out cafeteria area for the kids to sit and have lunch and socialize and all these things as
So
well.
you said you're targeting 150 students?
Yes, over 2 cycles.
Over the 2 cycles.
Yes.
So tell us what the numbers are looking like. How much kids do you have space to accept at this point?
Well, thankfully, the first cycle, I believe, is completely filled. And that would be, and each cycle has 75, right? So the first one will be completely filled. But it's a first come, first serve basis, right? And the second one we still have space for. Again, first come, first served. And that one is filling up very, very fast as well, right? So if anyone wants to get a squeeze in, I urge you guys to contact us now, contact 211, or visit us online, www.titl.tt/STEM, and register your child now, because space are filling up fast. Also,
you can also scan the...
you can scan the QR code on the flyer as well, right?
Yeah, you can scan that QR code on the flyer.
Also, we gave away one spot when we did our primary school and secondary school store. We gave a sponsored spot, as well as we are also giving away one spot on social media. So stay tuned to social media for the rules and regulation of how to enter for that spot.
And we're going to post the flyer one more time here
Yes.
so that you guys can reference that. Take out your phone, scan that QR code, and you get all the information that you need.
Right, and we also plan to give away 2 more spots at the Public Day Fair tomorrow that we're going to be in attendance at. So we have given away 4 spots in total for And then too, we did some let's say canvassing to see if there are any children who are, you know, less fortunate and who cannot really afford the $1,000, and we was able to get some spots for them as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. And I was just gonna lead to my other question. Next year, are you planning to increase your capacity? And to do so, are you planning on partnering with a number of maybe corporate sponsors to increase your capacity to
Well,
really treat with this number of kids that might be coming in?
great question. Great question. Um, the number of students that we have right now, the 150, is based on the physical capacity we have at the IT center. We do plan to expand that next year. Logistics are being planned out even now to get a bigger space for us, more devices, more computers, everything, so we could expand that by at least about 50 to 75 more students because the demand is there. And in terms of the corporate sponsors, we are currently are partnering with sponsors, and was partnering in the past as well. First things first, big up to Big Up Beats for bringing us on. Also, Berylink Cellular, we have skewers coming on as well. We have also MI4 Security, Paradise Store, Rev Security Solution, Safety Solutions. So we have a bunch of different corporate sponsors that have been with us and sponsoring the program for a while now. So we want to big them up and give them thanks, because without them, it would be way more difficult to do what we're doing.
Right. And what is the level at which the students would be at after the program? They would be at the beginner level, right?
I wouldn't say so. We have had testimonials where students came back from moving into secondary school and choosing IT, and the level that they were in those IT classes, right? They were way above what the material that the teacher is teaching at the point in time, right? And that's just from coming to the camp, being exposed, and actually having hands-on experience, not just from the textbooks, but we're actually taking them through and doing the actual work on the devices for them to really understand and grasp. So they really have a intermediate level for where they should be at that point in time, moving into choosing subjects in school and stuff like that.
And what can you advise them to do in the meantime? Because I mean, if they are at school and they're a bit advanced, it kind of holds them back a bit. So what other
Yes,
avenues are in place to get them to hone their skills?
that is a great question. And it's something that Tittle is working assiduously to solve, because that is a problem where we have camps during the July-August vacation. But however, outside of that, we don't have much going on for those age group. That is why we are now working on the STEM Academy, which is programs that will be put on by Tittle throughout the year, all right, in different disciplines, so that we are able to really handhold the technological development of those children and adults too, because we're doing it for adults and kids, right? So we want to be able to handhold the journey and the learning journey of those children from step to step. Whether it be we put on fundamentals in information technology, or we're putting on building drones, or we're putting on coding and animation, website building and all of that, we would be putting on these programs as part of the STEM Academy throughout the year, so that everyone will have a chance to have continuous experience actually doing and wetting their feet in IT.
Right. And as we wrap up, while that is in the works, what can parents do for their kids while that is,
Well, that is to
being
be
done?
launched as soon as the program is finished. So we're looking at in 2 months. In 2 months that will be launched, right?
Okay.
However, outside of that, even I could speak about my own journey into IT. YouTube was a great teacher for me in terms of learning different programs, getting instruction of the different programs. There are a lot of online programs as well. The Ministry of Digital Transformation, they're doing a lot of online courses as well, not only to upskill the public, but to also immerse, the younger ones from that demographic in STEM. So, avail yourself of all of those programs, and you could always check us. We always have something going on, and we always have tutors available ready to help anybody.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much, Eddison. And that was our conversation this morning. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back right after this. See you soon, guys.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning.